Hello and welcome to the Resco product webinar. Today we will be covering the 19.0 release and I'm really excited to share what we have prepared for you. First, my colleague Alex will show you how easy it is to configure the Resco mobile app. After that, we have an exciting announcement about the new generation of the Questionnaire Player. Feel free to ask questions at any time. We'll address them at the end of the webinar. So many topics, so little time. Let's get started with Alex and the new features in Woodford and the mobile app.
Thanks for the word, Martin. Now, let me start by giving you an overview about what we did to our calendar component within this release. We introduced a completely new way how to customize your calendar cards. If you look at the current calendar component and how it's structured, you literally have just a header, which is usually a subject or some piece of information that is not as relevant to the end user who is utilizing the calendar component. So we identified a couple of problems. First, of course, any critical details that you might want to display are not available at first glance. This then leads to another problem. The user needs to open multiple screens in order to get this basic information that's crucial. And last but not least, you as app makers cannot tailor cards to the business needs that you see. We also identified that if we solve these problems, we generate quite a lot of business value, such as having a better and enhanced field productivity for the end users, because immediately they will see the critical information. At the same time, we simplify the user experience by having a more simple user interface. Why? Users just need to open the calendar app and that's it. They see everything they need. And last but not least, completely new way how to generate business logic by introducing new configuration options. Let me give you an example of how it works. I've prepared a couple of demos for you. And let me start with going to Woodford and showing you how the user interface in Woodford tackles this new functionality. So I'm already in an app project here. And what I need to do is go to any calendar component that I put into it. For example, I open up the tour plan. I select a specific view about all tasks. And we have this button to edit the cards here. Now, as you can see, the users from this release on can specify what is displayed in a header, body, and the footer of the calendar card. Once you're satisfied, you simply just save and that's it. If you want, of course, publish it, feel free. Nonetheless, how is this then represented in the mobile app, right? The user now can see much more detail when going to the agenda view, day view, or week view. There's also the same piece of text always present in the month view, but mostly on mobile devices, it's not going to be visible due to the amount of individual rows and cells. However, on larger screens, this is also present fully on the month view. At the same time, you can see much more value on these screens immediately, and have it configurable like this makes it also easy for non-developers. Now, for a more advanced use case, there's also a possibility to do this via rules. So let's go back to Woodford again, and let's go to the tasks rule editor. I have a prepared scenario where I want to highlight every single event card in the calendar with a red color if a priority of that event is high. So I create a step which assigns a color to the card, and after I'm done and happy with the color, I can simply just save the rule and we can have a look on the mobile app. Now, if I go to the calendar, you can see I have a couple of events planned for the day, and I already have one that is highlighted by the red color. This means this specific item is of high priority. I do not even need to have the written information that this is high priority. It is simply color-coded. You can do many other things in the calendar by rules, such as specify what sort of entities, texts, whatever, is changed and displayed based on the conditions that you specify. We hope this gives you many more possibilities how to configure your app projects and deliver the business value you want even quicker. And now, moving on to a completely different topic, and I hope you like this one, we have looked into how our users utilize Woodford. And yes, for quite some time, the whole process of configuring, saving, publishing, then syncing in the mobile app, and just afterwards getting the feedback necessary to test what you've done, it's very, very long. And it's not the same problem for everyone. There are a multitude of problems, such as the whole process introduces very slow shipping of updates and new app projects in general, right? At the same time, the whole feedback loop, not just for you as an app maker, but for anyone maybe specifying the business requirements or having an idea of how things should work from a user perspective, it takes very long time. And at the same time, in certain circumstances, it also introduces unnecessary downtime due to repeated publishing, right? And with this, you have a very unhealthy user experience when utilizing Woodford for configuring app projects. Now, what can we gain by solving this? We definitely would like to deliver faster time to market with providing a better, simpler, faster way how to test what you guys built. At the same time, we want to save you money by literally saving you this time. Last but not least, we want to enhance the quality assurance and the whole set of processes you might have behind your development. Imagine a scenario. You are an app maker. You have a stakeholder who is very keen on getting a new experience out there. And there's no immediate feedback. You build it, you test it yourself, it takes some time, and then can you send it to someone for verification. Now, this will be completely changed, and let me show you how. Let me start in Woodford by showing you where to enable the live preview mode. In every single app project, you will have a completely new toggle for the live preview next to your login. Once you enable it, there will be 3 different ways how you can get into the live preview from your mobile app. And let me show you just one quick way, from my point of view, the quickest way how you can get in there. So I opened up a completely irrelevant camera app, which is able to scan and recognize QR codes. This QR code that I scanned had an embedded URL from the live preview in Woodford. Once I scanned it, it opened up my mobile app and provided an indicator on top that I'm now live. I'm testing the live preview. So once we are connected, it's really simple. Let me give you an example with forms. So here I have an already prepared form ready. On the left side, you can see Woodford. On the right side, you can see the mobile app. We are live. All we need to do is change some things on the Woodford side. Let's say I move around the individual fields, I save it, and immediately I get the feedback I wanted to see inside of the mobile app. I changed something again, saved it. Once again, I got the feedback immediately. I moved around the tab, immediate feedback by saving. Now you do not need to go and publish anything. You just need to save, and that's it. Another example with views. The same kind of approach applies to views as of this release. Here I have an example where I want to exchange the icons in a list for a different set because I do not like them. So I changed the icon type. I found out the icon actually makes sense, but it's too small. So I have immediate feedback. I save it. Now I'm satisfied. I do not need to publish. I see it immediately. The same applies to a different type of row in the list. I want to change the icon. I want to make the size larger. I know what to do now. I do it in one way, one step, save it. I have the change there immediately. I like it. I also recognized that a certain name field does not fit properly with longer names. So I also want to try it out. Now I saved it and I can see that it still doesn't fit. I can once again stretch it a little bit and get the feedback immediately. It's as simple as that, guys. Hopefully you guys like it. We certainly do. And we would like to get your feedback on this, because so far we fully support forms and views. More to come in the future. Now, that's it from my side. And now my colleague Janka will tell you more about what's new with Resco questionnaires.
Thank you, Alex. And hello, everyone. I am very excited to be here today to walk you through the next big chapter for Resco. We are officially launching our next generation technology, the Modernized Questionnaire Player, or as we call it, Questionnaire Player Gen 2. So, what exactly is Questionnaire Player Gen 2? It is our next generation technology for the data collection. While Resco handles the entire process, from designing to analyzing, Questionnaire Player is the engine that makes the actual gathering of data intelligent, smooth, and modern. To make this possible, we completely rebuilt the technology from the ground up. We have moved to React, industry standard front-end technology used for building modern web apps, and to material design from Google, library of ready-to-use components. It even helps people with visual, motor, and cognitive disabilities use applications more easily. And when we say it's ready in minutes, we mean it. You can simply import our solution and immediately use the pre-configured model-driven application named Resco Inspections. We even provide a demo Power Page website. Just enter your questionnaire ID and your form is live on the portal instantly. But Questionnaire Player Gen 2 isn't just a technical upgrade. It's a completely new way to look at your business processes. We have focused on 3 key areas: making life easier for the people building the apps, for the people filling forms out, and for the organization as a whole. Let's look at the first set of values. For our functional consultants, the app makers, we move to global standards. By using React and material design, we have replaced old custom code with the same technology used by market leaders. The benefit? You get modern design, fast loading time, and quick delivery of new features, including those that were previously impossible to build. The second driver is simplicity. We have decoupled data collection from mobile CRM engine. What does it mean in practice? It means you no longer need to configure a mobile project in Woodford. You can deploy forms on Power Platform or Dynamics 365 without any technical obstacles. And finally, for functional consultants, we are introducing intelligent form building. In fact, anyone can build a form within minutes. As you can see in the demo, we are moving away from manual question-by-question building. Now, you provide the goal via uploading the file. For example, I used performance evaluation in PDF format, which will be automatically created in the questionnaire designer. If you don't have a template, write a simple written prompt, and the AI builds the structure for you. Adapt the proposal if needed, and initiate creation. The result is an AI assistant that allows you to go from an idea to a client-ready demo just in minutes, freeing up your experts from repetitive manual work. We have also removed the language barrier. Location is now a built-in capability, not a separate project phase. Now let's talk about the people in the field and the back office. We want them to move away from the endless scroll. You can see it here in action. Even with a questionnaire containing hundreds of questions, users jump exactly where they need to be using table of contents with just one click. Now, they can then instantly search for any phrase and find it within a single tap, minimizing the time spent looking for information by manually scrolling through the questionnaire. And when they are ready to save or complete the questionnaire, they are guided through validation mistakes with arrows that takes them from error to error, allowing them to correct issues immediately. No more manual exploration of the long questionnaires, especially if errors are hidden in collapsed sections. Our goal is to transform static procedures into living digital workflows. We do this by hiding the unnecessary and showing only what is relevant for the user at that moment. You can build even the most complex business logic using our rules engine. You can show or hide questions, mark them as required or optional, and trigger conditions when the questionnaire is opened, changed, or saved. As a result, users only see the few questions that matter at the exact moment they need them. You can also embed mini manuals directly inside the form. This gives technicians the right context at the right time, reduces training costs, and ensures procedures are followed correctly. Now, you might ask, what makes us different from the hundreds of other tools out there? We aren't just a simple survey tool. We are an enterprise-grade engine built for complexity and mobile scenarios. The first advantage is flexibility. You can use Questionnaire Player Gen 2 as a powerful addition to your Microsoft Business app or within the Resco mobile CRM for your full offline mobility. Our build once, deploy anywhere approach saves you time. You create and publish one single template in Resco Questionnaire Designer, and it's immediately ready for any of the supported platforms: Mobile CRM, Power Apps, Power Pages, or Dynamics 365. Second, it's truly universal. Because it is built on modern web standards, it works on any device. Whether your team is using a tablet, laptop, or smartphone, the user experience is seamless. It is also independent of the operating system. Windows, iOS, or Android, it doesn't matter. And this is a big one. Universal reach. Questionnaire Player Gen 2 allows you to collect data from anybody, your internal employees, but also from external contractors, seasonal workers, and even your end customers. One data collection technology for entire business. But we aren't stopping here. Questionnaire Player Gen 2 is the foundation for our future. We will be launching a new Resco portal that allows you to share forms via a simple link or embed forms directly into your own website. Also, this is our beginning for building complex features such as the table component or AI summaries. Let's look at some of the most exciting capabilities we are launching right now. These features are designed to solve real-world problems that we have been heard from you, our clients. The first one is a true game changer: AI-powered, voice-activated form filling. We know that technicians often work under hostile conditions, like too cold to type, or simply they need their hands free on their tools, not a screen. But think also about your sales teams. They spend hours between clients, usually that time is wasted. Now, they can use travel time to pre-fill questionnaire or to summarize meetings, completely hands-free in their vehicle. Now, let me show how the AI assistant works. I will let the questions to be answered without touching a screen. So let's open the template. Initiate the call with AI. Let's start with evaluator details. Name is Jane, position is product manager, and relationship is direct supervisor.
Great, we've captured the evaluator details. Now let's move on to the next section. We'll start with the evaluation details. Could you tell me the dealer name?
It's Joseph.
Thanks, I've recorded the dealer name as Joseph.
So it was the short demo how our AI assistant can help you. Right now, let's move to another feature. We have solved the problem of the lack of context between questionnaires and related dataverse tables for those working in Power Apps. Without a developer, it was almost impossible to link a form to a specific work order, asset, or appointment. This meant that when a manager opened a record in a model-driven application, they couldn't see the connection between the service visit and the actual answers provided by the technician. But now, any functional consultant or admin can link an answered questionnaire to a record of work order, appointment, or other tables in minutes, without writing a single line of JavaScript code. As a manager working in the office, you can now review collected data at the record level to see exactly what happened during an appointment. You can correct or complete a form if needed, compare different visits, and validate the quality of a technician's work. I want to show you how easy this is to set up. We are going to link our questionnaires to the appointment table in 3 simple steps. First, we go to the questionnaire answer table in Dataverse. I will add a new column, let's call it lookup appointment, and set the data type to lookup, pointing it directly to the appointment table. Step 2. Next, we open our Resco Inspections app in the Power Apps editor. I will add the appointment page and edit the form. All I need to do here is add a subgrid component. Let's name it Questionnaire Responses. This is what will show our list of forms. Then save and publish. And step 3. Finally, we go to the Answers form within the application. In the Properties step, I will just add that new lookup column we created in step 1. Save and publish again. And we are done. Now, let's see the magic. I will refresh the Resco Inspections application and open a specific appointment. There it is. Our new subgrid is live. I can select a template like this EV chargers inspection, fill in the mandatory questions, and hit the save. When I go back, the answered questionnaire appears immediately in the subgrid. It's also visible in the Related tab. This gives the manager a perfect, unified view of every form linked to this visit. No code, just a few clicks. Next, let's talk about our enhanced integration with Power Pages. We know that reaching external users is a priority for many of you, and we have made that process much smoother. In the past, using questionnaires on web portals could be a challenge. The legacy player was sometimes slow to load and behaved like a separate application rather than a native part of the page. It also lacked features like a signature component. Plus, the setup was complex. We have solved this by making the player a native web component with easier configuration. As I mentioned earlier, we have included a pre-built demo portal to get you started faster. Let's see the short demo. I simply open the demo solution on the Power Pages and find the template ID of questionnaire I want to deploy. Then I move over to the code in Visual Studio and pass that ID into the player component. I save changes in the code and synchronize the Power Pages platform. And that's it. With just a few clicks, the questionnaire is on the website. As you can see, it's responsive and looks like a native part of the portal. As mentioned, developers get better design control and they can build a questionnaire look on the portal according to their choice. 2 different codes end up in 2 different portal views. Let's compare. On the left side is the demo page before any changes. On the right, you can see the questionnaire live on the site after just a few simple code updates in Visual Studio. It's that easy. And now I will hand it over to my colleague Martin. He will show you the technical side of Resco TypeScript API feature.
Thank you, Janka. Resco questionnaires can be easily designed and created by users who do not need to be technically skilled. Thanks to features such as data mapping and declarative low-code rules, these questionnaires become dynamic and responsive. Resco questionnaires can comfortably handle forms with hundreds of questions and a large amount of rules. Managing a large amount of custom business logic comes at a cost. Even small changes often require navigating through complex rule structures, logic is frequently duplicated, and the overall maintenance process becomes time-consuming and error-prone. To address these limitations, Resco questionnaires offer another powerful and popular capability, the ability to extend and enrich questionnaires using JavaScript. In Questionnaire Player Gen 1, this JavaScript functionality was delivered through a shared JS bridge for mobile CRM. The logic files had been uploaded into a mobile Woodford project, which introduced several challenges. Questionnaire behavior could differ depending on the mobile project in which it was opened. Implementing the logic required knowledge not only of JavaScript, but also of JSBridge and Woodford, resulting in a steep learning curve. JSBridge was based on an older JavaScript interface and did not follow modern web development standards. In JSBridge, worked only in mobile CRM. In MDA, not all methods were available or implemented. With Questionnaire Player Gen 2, we introduced a modernized and simplified TypeScript library for controlling questionnaires. It is available on NPM and provides a rich set of functions with a clean, intuitive interface for questionnaire logic written in TypeScript. The resulting code is no longer uploaded via Woodford into a mobile project. Instead, it becomes a direct part of the specific questionnaire itself. This logic runs consistently not only in the Resco mobile CRM application, but also in Power Apps and Power Pages. Getting started with TypeScript in your questionnaires is very simple. Simpler than you might expect. You only need Node.js installed on your computer. Then just run the create command and let the wizard guide you through a short project setup process. After that, you are free to write your logic in TypeScript or JavaScript to control and enhance your questionnaires. You can use any tool that suits you, such as VS Code, Cursor, or even Notepad. Once your code is ready to be tested, build a bundle and add it to your questionnaire using the Questionnaire Designer tool. Let me show you how this works. Once I have the Node.js installed, I select and open a folder on my computer where I want to store my JavaScripts and type in npm create @resconet/qpbridge. The wizard will guide me through this short process. In my IDE, I can see the project structure. The only relevant file for me now is the index.ts. And I have one method there, setAnswer. This finds a question, in my case, my question, and sets the answer to hello world. After that, I just run the npm run build, and the bundle is built for me. you can see there is a dist folder, and in there is a bundle.js file. This is the artifact that stores all my custom questionnaire logic. The last step is also easy. I will take this file and upload it into Questionnaire Designer, into my questionnaire. This is my demo questionnaire. It contains a single short text question named my question. To attach my JavaScript file, I go to the options, select the rules tab, where I can upload my bundle. Once I save it, I can check the results immediately in the Power App. I open a list of templates, select my staged questionnaire, and as you can see, my question already contains the hello world text. That's it. The complete process of bringing the TypeScript logic into your questionnaires. Write the code, build it, and attach it directly to the questionnaire. Now, let me show you a few basic functions you can use to control questionnaires with a QP bridge. For this example, I have created a simple questionnaire with 4 questions: height, weight, BMI, and category. When user enters the height or weight, the BMI is calculated automatically, and the category is updated accordingly. To avoid displaying invalid values, the BMI and category are shown only when both height and weight are provided. To achieve this, I use the following functions from the QP bridge. onAnswerChanged. Trigger whenever an answer is in the questionnaire changes. It provides the question name and the new answer as the parameters. getQuestion retrieves a question by its name from the questionnaire. setAnswer sets the answer for a specific question in the questionnaire. And setQuestion updates a question in the questionnaire. For the whole list of the functions that you can use with QP Bridge, follow the link on this slide. And this is what the complete code looks like. Nothing complicated. You can see that I am using all the functions I mentioned earlier. I also have a custom function for calculating the BMI category, along with a simple formula for calculating the BMI itself. For better visibility, while writing and debugging the code, I can log information to the console. And that's it. All that's left is to build the project by running npm run build and then upload the generated bundle into the questionnaire. This time, I'll open the questionnaire in the Resco mobile app. To verify the custom logic, I simply enter the weight and height, and everything else is calculated automatically. If I change the values again, the BMI is recalculated accordingly. All right. Before we move on, I owe you an apology. I wasn't entirely honest when I said it was really easy for me to write the previous code. That's not exactly how it happened. I didn't write the code myself. Instead, I used a coding agent. And in the last few minutes, I'll show you how this works with Resco questionnaires, QP Bridge, and the MCP server provided by Resco. To get started with AI coding tools, you first need to choose one that suits you best. I personally use GitHub Copilot, VS Code, or Cursor. For demos in this presentation, I've chosen the first option. This is a common use case with Resco questionnaires, mapping Dataverse relationships into groups and questions. In this case, my task is, when an account is selected in a lookup question, load all associated contacts. For each contact, create a new contact group instance and prefill its questions with data from entity. Solution: create a simple questionnaire with an account lookup and repeatable contact group, and let the AI handle the implementation. Here is the structure of my questionnaire. I have one lookup to the account table at the root level and one repeatable group for contacts. Notice that the questions in the contact group are automatically mapped to the contact records they represent. No coding required. In the designer, you simply define that questions, such as first name, last name, or address, read from and write back to the underlying records in the contact table. In my IDE, Visual Studio Code, on the right side of my screen, you can see the coding agent I will be using. It's configured to work with the Resco MCP server, so it's aware of all my questionnaires and their structure through its tools. It also understands QP Bridge, as it has access to its documentation. And it has broader context about Resco technology from our wiki and academy. I start by telling the agent that I want to create logic for a specific questionnaire called account contacts. It receives my prompt and begins gathering the information it needs. Once the context is established, I can instruct it to implement the logic I expect, loading contexts when the account changes. From there, I let it do its job. In just a few iterations, the solution is ready. Now let's check whether the generated code does what it's supposed to do. Again, build, upload, and execute. This time, I open the template in the Resco mobile CRM application. I select an account, and its related contacts are loaded from the entity. New groups containing the relevant contact information are automatically created in the player. When I change the account again, the groups are reloaded and repopulated. We receive many requests related to image processing in questionnaires. One common requirement is the ability to add a watermark to an uploaded photo. Let's see how QP Bridge, the Resco MCP server, and the questionnaires work together to solve this task. My prompt is, when a user uploads a profile picture, resize it to 150 x 150 pixels, convert it to monochrome, and overlay a green approved watermark on the image. I got the results in a few seconds. Let's check that in action. Again, build, upload, execute. I will upload my profile picture. As you can see, it's a colorful photo. Once I select it for upload, the questionnaire takes over, it downscales the image, converts it to monochrome, and adds an approved watermark. Enough talking. Now it's your turn. Try the live preview mode or explore the second generation Questionnaire Player on your own. Download it or read our release notes by following these links.
Yep, very good question. Thanks for that. I initially wanted to show you guys the quickest way by scanning the QR code, right? But there are actually 3 different ways how you can join your device into the live preview, right? So first is scanning the QR code if your device has a camera, right? Second one is using a URL, which is provided directly in Woodford, which you can easily copy, or if you are on Windows, you can simply click on it. It will open up mobile app. That's it. Or you can even select a session pin and copy it into the mobile app itself. So all of this is actually documented in the wiki already. So I recommend you to go and search the wiki for the live preview, and you should be able to find all the details that you want. Yes, it is actually possible to join with as many devices as you want. So imagine you want to test it out on a mobile phone, one Android device, one iOS device, on a tablet, let's say, and also on Windows. You can join with all of the devices at the same time, so you see the changes immediately on every single screen size, aspect ratio, whatever you need to test. So yes, it is possible, and you can even imagine scenarios where you have remote workers or colleagues in different business units, different countries, locations. They can all join the same live preview session, and you can all verify it together immediately if you'd like.
Our model-driven application, Resco Inspections, is part of the Resco Suite solution. So once you install Resco Suite solution into Power environment, you can use both solutions, Resco Suite and new Resco Inspections model-driven application.
Our MCP server has several tools. One of them is for building the logic using the QP script, QP Bridge. And we also experiment, and we have a proof of concept already, that it can also create those templates. So you can just instruct the tool or the AI coding agent to create the structure of the questionnaire itself. This is one way using MCP server. We are also thinking of a different kind of creating the questionnaire, some new experience in a new questionnaire designer, similar to what you can use in existing UI, AI tools. The new Gen 2 Questionnaire Player is designed so the answers are in separated entity. we find it that this model is better and more efficient. So the templates are stored in Resco questionnaire, and the Resco questionnaire answer contains the answered questionnaires. If you have a specific use case, we can discuss it. So get in touch with us and we can discuss the specifics of your use case in this case.
There is a lot of them. You can find the list on Wiki or within our presentation. Let's be focused on the technology that is much quicker and more intuitive as the previous one. When it comes to new features, we have features focused on end users who can collect data via Questionnaire Player Gen 2 easier, quicker, and to avoid any mistakes. I don't want to repeat the features that are connected to them. You could see in the presentation that we brought several AI capabilities. We enhanced the integration with Power Pages and Power Apps.
So basically, this is easy if you have the legacy or the existing Gen 1 questionnaires in Questionnaire Designer. You just open the questionnaire. There is an options section there. You hit the upgrade button, and the wizard will guide you through the short process of converting the QP Gen 1 to the Generation 2. So this is process of upgrading. And then maybe the only important limitation, the biggest one, is that we introduced this QP Bridge TypeScript API to control the questionnaires. So the JavaScript bridge had interface to communicate with the old questionnaires, and we introduced QP Bridge. Otherwise, you are free to use the mobile JS Bridge to interact with mobile CRM application, but to control the second generation questionnaires, you need this TypeScript API QP Bridge. This is the maybe biggest breaking change. We will provide you with the documentation and how-tos to upgrade your existing solutions. Important for this is that we no longer can use Woodford project to store the logic, because the questions are now independent on the Woodford. They can run in mobile CRM, but now you need to have a storage for the JavaScript logic. It's not there yet, but we have a feature for having a global storage for this JavaScript logic. So we will be able to have one global file for all the questionnaires and refer to that from the questionnaires.